Hello and welcome to my follow-up review on the Landrover Defender 2020. This is the 110 SE model. So I've done just over 1,000 miles now. I've had the car for about 6-7 weeks. So I'm doing an update of the things I've found, discovered about the car, things I like and the things I don't like. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all those people who took time to leave comments. Appreciate the feedback. Some of the comments were good, some were a bit more challenging, but I do appreciate again people just taking the time to leave comments. So looking at the car, so the car has had no real issues over the last 6-7 weeks. A couple of small annoyances type things more than faults, one of which is the keyless entry. Doesn't work for me probably about half the time. Unlike other Land Rover cars where you have to put your hand behind the handle and it kind of opens, here you have to press a button to lock the car and unlock the car. I find it doesn't always work even if the key is in the front of my pocket, so I'm quite often taking the key out and holding the key in my hand to do the keyless entry, which a little bit defeats the purpose. So probably a C plus in terms of the keyless entry. Another thing that I do find quite annoying right now is the auto start and stop. I get why it's there to create some better fuel efficiency, but for me it feels a little bit like the car is juddering sometimes when it comes to a halt, and never quite sure in terms of the precision how the auto start stop will restart the car, let you pull away. Some cars you can just release the brake gently and then put the brake on again. I've done that a couple of times in this car and actually stalled the car at junctions. I'm getting a little bit used to how the rhythm kind of works out, but right now it's probably, to be honest, I would turn it off if I could, so I'm probably saying it's another kind of C plus in terms of mark. Otherwise, a couple of things odd with the information system. The odd thing being the clock, which seems to have a bit of a lag to it for some reason. So I get in the car in the morning and what I find is that it's still showing last evening's time, and it takes a while to kind of readjust itself. Not the biggest of issue, just a bit of an unusual thing. But far and above, the car is really good. I'm enjoying owning this car. Like I said, I've driven just over 1,000 miles. It's been pretty solid. Feels pretty nimble on the road, even though it's boxy. It's a bit of a kind of wolf in sheep's clothing. It's really enjoyable. Inside the cabin, you can see there's really good space. There's great headroom. Even for me, I'm just over 6 foot tall. It feels like a good width to the cabin. The car from the outside looks quite narrow, but it's actually deceptive. It looks a lot wider inside, and there's good space in the back, and like I said, in the front as well. I will do a little bit later on, just looking at the engine bay and also just showing you how the space operates in the back. It's very functional in terms of the seats folding down for storage and so forth when you're on when you're sort of carrying. I went to the garden centre recently and picked up a whole bunch of plants, so that was quite easy. Also got another excuse to use the clear sight, which is a really good feature on the car. So again, really pleased with that. But I think overall, people have said some comments about, is it truly a Defender? And what I would say is, I guess probably not, in terms of it's not the same as it was years ago. But again, when I was a kid, TVs were mainly black and white, and today they're colour and they're 4K. So life does move on, things do change, things do get better and things do progress. I think, to be honest, if you are going out somewhere to an extreme location and need to rely on the car to survive in the outback, a couple of people have said, then no, I probably wouldn't take this car because it's got too much electronic gadgetry. I'd take something a bit more easy to maintain from a mechanical engineering perspective. But that said, for me, the reason I bought this car was I live in northeast Ohio and the winters are pretty severe, so I wanted good 4x4 reliability. I am a big Landrover fan. I swapped in my Range Rover Sport for this car. I was a bit doubtful whether it would have the same kind of sense of fun, drivability as the Sport, and I'm pleasantly surprised. The car does accelerate well. I haven't stopwatch tested the 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, but to be honest, it's fast enough for how I drive. Around the kind of the back roads, it holds the road well. Steering is good. Fundamentally, the P400 engine has the power to kind of keep it pretty smooth in terms of driving. I don't feel a lot of juddering through the roads. I have got the all-season tyres. I haven't got the off-road tyres, purposefully for me, because I'm not doing a lot of off-roading. I really just wanted the ability, if I did go off-road or do something else activity-wise, the car could cope. But it's you know, the key word I'm trying to think of a word to describe the car. You could say solid. You could say purposeful. You could say it's, you know, it just does the job, ticks the boxes. I think the key word probably is all-rounder. This car can wear many hats, do many things, but ultimately it's a good car to drive. It's fun, it's enjoyable, gets you from A to B. Like I said, as long as you don't stall when you're using the auto start stop, but it's a good car. So it's good fun to drive, gets you from A to B in a very reliable fashion. So I like the car. From a performance point of view, fuel economy has been okay. Not too disastrous, not too fabulous, just kind of somewhere in between. The acceleration here is pretty good. Watch the speed limit. Do find the car does tend to run away with you. It goes faster than you think. The engine is fairly quiet, as you can probably tell. As I'm talking here, you can't hear a lot of the engine. Occasionally you get a bit of road noise from certain types of tarmac or concrete on the roads. But I can imagine this car taking a longer trip, longer family vacation, or longer kind of activity weekend or something like that, driving out into the country or going out of state, maybe a fishing trip or canoeing trip if you have the roof rack and so on and so forth. So I think the car is not a jack of all trade, but more kind of a man for all seasons in terms of its all-round ability. So let's go back and look at a few of the features of the car, okay, and just talk about what I've learned in a bit more detail. And we'll start with the rear luggage space. So let's take a look at the outside of the vehicle. Look at the trunk, the boot space. So easy swing open door. Plenty of space as you first look inside the back of the vehicle. Have the collapsed luggage carrier there at the back. Have the specialized up and down buttons so you can actually lower and raise the back of the car. So let's have a look at just to raise it, pretty easier. Okay, you can get the sense of the vehicle there. Back end is raising. The vehicle's obviously parked right now, so in the lower mode. If I just quickly lower it again, you can just get the sense, if you're just going to watch, I won't get a tape measure out, but you can see the sense there that the vehicle actually is lowering itself. Okay, so let's look at the luggage carrier, which I personally, right now, I tend to fold it away. That's one of the great things, it actually folds. And I just store it immediately underneath where the jack and the toolkit is. You can see they're folded up. Okay, so taking it out of the trunk, using one hand, the one's holding the iPhone. Try and show you how easy it is to install and take the load space cover off. And just a couple of rubberized clips, 2 on the right and then 2 on the left. Okay, fairly sturdy, I would say. It's going to certainly last good wear and tear on this. Fix the clips in the eye sockets. Okay, and there you have it, nice and secure. You know, good. You know, it's going to cover things you put in the back of the car, keep them safe, keep them out of the way of prying eyes when you're sort of just traveling around and so on and so forth. Okay, easy to take it off, as you can see, a matter of moments. Fold it up again, and very simply just pop it back under that storage bay. Okay, so look now at the space in the back of the car. So you can see there, good space. Okay, there's the keyless entry. Just got to press and hold. It's actually getting better the more I use it. Seat back release is there. Actually, don't forget, you got to put the headrest down first of all. Not easy to do one-handed. Okay, just pressing the button, it folds and collapses down. You can then, if you want more space, lift the front seat squab. Okay, pull the tab, goes to the front there. You can then pull the seat down. Okay, give it a firm push, and it's flat. Great space in the back of the car. You can put a lot of luggage in there. Like I said, going to the garden centre, just out and about, just a great space. Again, the car looks pretty, and the self-closed door when you're all done makes it a lot easier. No slamming. Let's look at the hood or bonnet release. It's on the driver's side in the US. Not sure about the UK, whether it's on the right hand side or left hand side. Then trying to find the bonnet catch underneath, hood catch underneath. Here's me having a good look around. Some cars have the radius, some don't. It's actually right in the middle of the bonnet. Okay, just so you know, this is genuine. Finally found it. I'll show you where it is, just so you can do it quicker than I did. Flat hand right under between the E and the N. Bonnet, the hood is self-supported. And a quick look at the engine, as usual. Well set out. Engine itself is encased in plastic, as is the case with nearly all modern engines. I'm not sure you'd actually get into it to do any work on it. I'm sure you just plug a laptop in these days and get diagnostics. But there's the Ingenium engine. Pretty straightforward. Interesting to see that it actually recommends, I guess, Castrol oils. And to be honest, 3 months of ownership now, and that's the first time I've opened the bonnet or the hood. Okay, so pretty good. And that's my update review of the Landrover Defender 2020. Thanks for watching. Appreciate again all the comments people have added. Please keep the comments coming, and I'll keep you updated in another 3 to 4 months. Apologies also for the delay in getting this video out, but my Mac Mini actually broke down when I was doing some of the filming and collating. I had to rebuild that as well, so I'm going to throw that on as an extra YouTube item. So I hope you find that useful as well. Thanks again. Please subscribe by clicking on the link below. I appreciate it if you can hit like as well while you're there. Thank you very much.